my video on day 1, you saw how I constructed this little mini journal that I will be working on for our Whimsical Storyteller Hop. Hi everyone, Patty here for day 21. Don't forget to be keeping track of the code words to form the whimsical phrase at the end of the hop to win prizes. Today we're constructing vellum window pockets, printed tea bag overlays, and shaker flowers. So let's start by fussy cutting some flowers from the paperomia digital kit Sakura. I picked some of the flowers that had a big center, as I want to cut a hole in the center of each of my fussy cut flowers to add a shaker. I used the scrap pieces of paper to use some of my die cuts to cut some flowers and leaves. I found a circle die that will cut the center out of my flowers. All of my hole punches wouldn't reach that far into the flower for the size of hole I wanted. You could freehand a hole in the center of your fussy cut flowers if you don't have a die cutting machine. For my first flower center, I will use a small baggie. You can use plastic sleeves from packaging, but this little baggie will fit perfectly. Pick some of your glitters that match your journal colors and add a little glitter to the baggie. Don't add too much or you don't get the shaker portion of the pocket. These flowers will be pockets on pages of my journal, layered on top of other flowers from these gorgeous digitals from Paperomia. I put too much glitter in this bag, and the static makes it almost impossible to remove any. Yes, glitter is everywhere now. My tip, go light on adding glitter. I take this one to my sewing machine and sew around the center of the hole. This helps keep the glitter in the center of the flower. For the others, I just use glue. Trying to sew a small circle without a free arm foot on your machine is tricky, but can be done. Cut any excess baggie off so it can't be seen from the front of the flower. I layer some of the die cuts that I had made earlier with flowers and leaves, but again, if you don't have a die cutting machine, you can fussy cut the extra flowers and leaves from the digitals or use stickers. You are making a cluster to add as a pocket to your page. Check your page layout and decide how big you want the cluster to become. Making clusters is all about what you have and layering them to fit your page to be pleasing to you. For the center of this flower, I'm using acetate. Add a little glue around the center of the flower and lay down the acetate. Add your glitter. In this method, having a little paintbrush to move the glitter around helps to keep the glitter in the center. Add more glue around the center of the flower backs and add your second layer of acetate to sandwich the glitter between the two pieces of acetate. Set this aside to let it dry. Keep filling all of your fussy cut flower centers in the same way. After making the clusters, this one seemed like it needed a little something more. So I added some glossy accents to the center of a die cut and poured a little glitter on top, letting this dry before knocking off any excess glitter from the dried glossy accents. Add your shaker flower clusters to your pages. Only glue down 3 sides, leaving an opening on the flower to be able to add a tag or ephemera. I looked to see if a tag would fit where I had added the glue and will adhere the shaker flower cluster to the journal page. I added some stamping to the pages where I had added some book pages. They needed something. It's all about adding the finishing touches when you start adding clusters and tags. Give some extra dimensions to your pages with a little stamping. The book pages are a glossy paper, and my stamping, even though using archival ink, it blurred and slipped a bit. I don't worry about a perfect stamping, as this is just an added dimension to our page and under our cluster and pockets. I did use some brown packaging paper to make a mask so I didn't stamp up onto the picture of the book page. I just want the stamping to be on the blank areas. We're ready to make our tea bag overlays for the journaling cards and tags. I will give you some tips for this project, but I highly recommend you go watch Louisa Heinzel to see how she did this project and even more ways to make printing on tea bags an addition for our journals. You need a special sticker adhesive paper. In Louisa's video, she shows you how to test if your sticker paper will work or not. I bought the kind she was using and have it shown on the video. Print off your Dodo Quills Girls onto the sticker paper. Clean your tea bags from all the tea particles. When adding the tea bag to this sticker, make sure the side that held the teas up and not onto your girls, just in case you didn't get all of the tea off of the tea bags. Cut the girls out individually, making it easier to add the tea bag and not dripping water onto an area you didn't want. I used a corner of my Tim Holtz glass media mat to lay my clean tea bag down onto and used a spray bottle to wet the tea bag, making sure the complete tea bag is wet. Carefully lift the wet tea bag up and lay over the printed sticker. I would suggest doing one at a time and not having the wet tea bag drip over the other stickers on your work surface. At this point, dab your tea bag onto the printed sticker. Don't rub it, just dab. You will feel the tea bag getting slimy. This is what you want. Keep dabbing. You can check a corner to make sure that you are getting the printed girl onto your tea bag before you lift the whole tea bag off. Another tip is to have your tags or cut journaling cards from cardstock all ready to go, as these are sticky and when you dry them they will stick to wherever you lay them. I started to dry them onto freezer paper, but then decided to add them directly to my journaling cards and tags. Depending on what you are going to use these overlays for, you may not want them on a tag or journaling card. So if you just want to have the overlay for another purpose, don't put them onto the cardstock or tag, but put them to dry on a non-stick surface, such as freezer paper. Don't throw away that leftover piece, as these can still be stamped on and used as stickers. You only have one chance to lay this wet tea bag down onto the printed sticker paper. Don't try to lift it up or move it around. You will smear the image. Try to get it to lay as flat as possible on your first swipe. You may have a wrinkle or two, but that adds to the charm of these pieces. Now that I'm doing the voiceover for the video, I'm thinking, why didn't I let one dry directly onto the journal page? She would look like she is embedded into the flowers. Have fun, as this project can be addictive with all of the possibilities. Next, I want to make some vellum pockets. I have 2 signatures in my journal, so I want to make 2 vellum pockets, one for each signature. They will be constructed from some watercolor paper that has been painted to the colors that are similar to my journal pages. As you may know that I have recently moved into my new house and craft room. Needless to say, I couldn't find where I had put all my colored cardstock. I have found it since making this video, but I used what I had and it turned out great. Measure the size of the pocket you want and cut out a window from the cardstock, or in my case, the watercolor paper. I used a die cut again as I had one the size I wanted for my window. You can measure and cut the center out using an X-Acto knife or scissors. Don't forget to ink those edges before you put the vellum onto the frame. Glue your vellum to the frame. Trim off any excess vellum to fit your frame. I want the pocket to open from the left side of the page for this one, so I will only glue the frame with the vellum attached to it on 3 sides, leaving the left side open to be able to slide a tag into the frame. I like to hold on to the side that I don't want to have glue added. That way I know which side is the pocket and how it should end up on my page. For the journaling card, I need to trim off any excess tea bag and fit the journaling card to the pocket. The journaling card needs some kind of page tab to be able to pull the card out of the pocket smoothly. I also want to add some fussy cut flowers and leaves to the corners of the frame for more interest. At first glance, you may not even see the girl behind the flowers and the vellum, but she is hiding behind the flowers and the vellum, which adds another layer of appeal to our journals. Ink the edges of your journaling card and glue any corners down that may not have adhered as well as we want for a piece that will be going in and out of pockets. I cut a butterfly die in half to form the tab to pull the journaling card out of the vellum pocket. Glue both halves together to form a sturdy pull tab. Add a few more leaves and fussy cut flowers to the bottom of the frame. For the second frame, I will take the vellum to the embossing machine and emboss a portion of the vellum corner to get a little interest to this pocket. I don't know the name of this embossing folder, but it is by Darcy. If you don't have vellum, you could use acetate, but you won't have the milky, hidden pocket look I'm achieving with the vellum, because the whole idea is to have a hidden effect. Fit your frame over the embossed vellum and glue the vellum to the frame. Did you remember to ink those edges? I didn't. Well, I did remember, but I had already added the glue, and now I've got glue on my fingers. Trim off any vellum from the edges of the frame and adhere to the journal page. I want to open this pocket on the right side of the page. That makes both signatures with the same type of pocket but with small variations, again keeping the intrigue throughout our pages. Tomorrow we will add our tags to our pockets and for a gorgeous hidden effect and get another secret word. Bye for now.